Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is where you are, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Nedra Bell. We are with Rebirth, and we are about to have a wonderful, wonderful episode about our favorite topic, which is love. Today, I have the esteemed guest, Miss Christina Lockett. Thank you so much for joining us today. Christina, did you want to give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm
Yes.
excited to be here. I am a professional author. I have authored 5 books, media personality, ministry for over 18 years now. And recently in this last year, we added actor.
Yes.
So I'm
yes.
grateful for that.
And she's incredible, y'all. So we're going to jump right into it.
Okay.
So I met Christina on the set of When Love Hurts with our Renee Productions. And When Love Hurts is a production about when love might do you wrong, but how you can overcome, how God can renew, and how God can refresh your spirit, your mind, and your soul. So Christina, why don't you tell us about your part on When Love Hurts?
My character was Sister Love.
Yes.
You know, she was a fun character, but she also gave out some gems.
Yes.
Ministry related gems, inspirational gems,
Yes.
I should say. But
Yes.
she had a good balance of seriousness and comedy. So
And we need that in our lives. Sister Love was definitely one of my favorite characters in this production. I want to know, what were your thoughts of the script when you first read it?
you know, good question. I actually like the script, and that's important. You don't want to just take any script. You know, it's important to take a script that you will feel comfortable with.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
a year from now, 2 years from now,
Wow.
you'll be able to look at that and say, you know what, I was glad to be a part of that project. And so
That's
I felt
interesting.
that way when I read the script.
That's interesting that you say that, because sometimes as, you know, actors or actresses, we just want the job. We just want the work. But I'm glad you said when you can look back a year from now and say, you know, a question would be like, am I going to be proud of the work that I did
Yes.
a year from now?
Yes.
Am I going to be ashamed of the production that I was in? Like, that's a really good question to ask yourself, instead of just taking everything that's given to you. You know, is it really the blessing that you think it is?
Yes, indeed.
Right?
I agree.
Well, what do you look for when selecting a script, or when you're looking to get involved in a ministry? I know you've been in the ministry for, you know, over 15, about 18
Yes,
years?
yes.
Yeah. So what do you look for when you're going into something like this?
You know, is it inspirational? Is it positive? Does it represent my brand? Does
Yeah.
it represent what I represent away from the project? You know, when people see me in the project and be like, I can't believe, she did that,
Yeah.
right? You know, and it's okay for it to have different elements, but still at the end of the day, what's the message? What's the driving force? That's what I look at. Yeah.
Well, next thing I want to know is, was it hard to bring to life Sister Love?
No, actually, because this character was so similar to me and my
I
personality.
can feel that.
You
yes.
know, so she wasn't a stretch.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
maybe kind of giving her a little bit of an older personality may have been a little bit of a
Yes,
stretch.
yes.
But overall, she wasn't a stretch for me.
She was
because
so good,
Yeah,
y'all.
she was me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
she's the serious part of me, the inspirational part. You know, we can have conversation, and if I feel led to share a scripture
Yes.
or something that I believe is empowering, I'm going to do that. And that character did the exact same thing. And
Yeah.
of course, the funny elements. You know,
Yes.
my personality. Well, that's what they say. I make people laugh when I'm not trying to make them laugh.
Yeah.
You know, so she wasn't that big of a stretch. You know, and so this is my first time actually portraying a character that was so similar to my real life. You know, so.
Well, you did the thing. It was incredible. It was
Thank
funny.
you.
It was inspirational. It was touching. It felt like home. It felt like the warm, fuzzy hug that you need in any situation.
Yes.
If you're laughing off a hurt, if you're in need of some guidance,
Yes.
that's what Sister Love was. You really embodied that spirit and that character.
Oh, I'm glad
Yeah.
you enjoyed it. Thank you.
I did. Do you have any advice for any actresses that are starting out?
You know what? When you're first starting out, it's important again to be mindful of the project. Don't just take anything. Even if you're eager,
Yes.
but be mindful of the project as a whole and give it your all. You know, and I feel like that's advice for someone that's experienced and been doing this a very long time or new. Give it your all.
Yes.
If you're gonna be in it and you're gonna make that commitment, make the commitment. You know, rehearsal time, practicing, memorizing your lines, and really understanding the character.
Yeah.
You know, like this character, she was so similar to me, but I still had to think about her from all aspects. And one of the driving forces for me was the scripture that talk about the older women teaching the younger women. That's what I felt when my character would interact with July, the main character. The older women teaching the younger women. So you have to think about the character as a whole, as if you know everything about them. Like if they got kids at home, even though the script doesn't say that,
build that
you have
life.
to build that character.
You do.
And so
you do.
that's my advice. Really look at the project and give it your all.
Okay, so I know that you were Sister Love, but did you see yourself in any of the other characters that met the stage?
You know what? I saw myself in July because of her experiences. I didn't necessarily have the same testimony, but how God has called you for a certain purpose, but getting that opposition, because she received some opposition. People not necessarily for her, but for her idea and her vision. I've experienced that, you know, and being a first lady, I've experienced that as well. And so I was able to relate with her character.
So how did you overcome that? Knowing that you've got this vision, but there's so many people saying, not right now, not you.
Right.
You know, not here. How did you overcome that?
Not accepting the no.
That's one way to do it.
I just don't accept it.
Yeah,
When you really know that God has a purpose for your life, and you really know that God has said do it, don't accept anything less. Don't accept no. You know, if you ask for help and they don't want to help you, move on to the next person.
That's right.
You know, even to the point of even if you have to fund it yourself.
I've
Like
seen
by
it
any means necessary. If you know, you have to really know in your spirit that God said do it and be obedient to that no matter what. And it's hard. Like in the project, in the play, you know, July had those oppositions. And I can tell from her lines that maybe she didn't want to be disrespectful because these were older women, older missionaries in the play, but hey, I still have to do it.
Gotta do what God
I gotta do what God said do.
That's right. Who was your favorite character?
Oh, I don't know if I have a favorite because it was so many. Like
really
each
good.
character, certain aspects of them was my favorite. I know I really liked the character that you played.
Did you?
Yeah, because she was multi-dimensional. You know,
She had
I like
a lot
that.
going on.
She had a lot going on.
Yes, she did.
But I like that, you know, so I can't say I had one favorite. Each character, it was something about them that I liked, which overall made it a great project.
Yes, it was. And one thing to note, we just had a really good cast.
Yeah,
right?
a good cast.
You know,
great
a
cast.
really fun cast. We had a good time together. What did you think of our Renee as a writer?
I love it because I know when you're an inspirational writer, you have that certain message that you want to portray, right? But you still have to write from all aspects. And so I feel like she did a great job, you know, well-rounded. You know, being able to talk about maybe some of the ugly stuff that people don't want to talk about. Like, you know, we can say that some people experience rape. You know, stripping, and just other things that sometimes people don't want to talk about.
We keep it, you know, in the closet.
In the closet, hush, hush.
Yes.
Especially as it relates to the church, they don't necessarily want to talk about it. So I feel like our Renee Productions did a great job writing and portraying all aspects.
I
So I like
believe
that.
so too.
Not sugarcoating, if that makes sense.
Yes.